Ciao ragazzi e benvenuti a questa nuova puntata di PizzaTalk. Oggi parleremo di jainismo, della fede jainista, che molti di voi non conoscono, molti di voi conoscono, e che è una religione, diciamo, un po' poco conosciuta, soprattutto in Italia. Lo facciamo con il nostro ospite Rajiv. Hi Rajiv.
Hi.
Uh, it's nice to finally meet you. Finalmente ci conosciamo. E prima di iniziare l'intervista vorrei lasciare a Rajiv la possibilità di presentarsi. So, Rajiv, introduce yourself to our viewers.
Yeah, hi, I'm Rajiv Rathod from Bangalore, India. I'm a filmmaker and I am from, I follow, I'm from India and I've been making this documentary film on Jainism, which I've been working on for quite some time and it's due to release this year. And I'm a Jain from the Jain community, as I would like to say. Yeah.
Ok, quindi che cos'è il jainismo esattamente? So, what's Jainism?
Jainism is so there are many schools of thought in India, and largely the schools of thought. There are two schools of thought. In and to just put it in simpler words, one school of thought is called the Brahmin school of thought, and the other is called the Shraman school of thought. The difference between those two is that they believe the Brahmins believe that you will always require a medium for your liberation, and the Shraman school of thought under which Jainism and Buddhism come in, they believe that your actions are going to decide your liberations of how you're going to live, behave, talk, and interact with the world is going to decide your liberation. Or in India, the word for that is moksha. So yeah.
Ok, e quello che volevo capire più nel particolare è chi crede nel Jainismo, in cosa crede? So, someone who believes in Jainism believes in a polytheistic faith or not, something.
Someone who believes in Jainism believes in non-violence of
Mm?
speech, thought, and action, where everything they do is subjected through the lens of non-violence. And someone who believes in Jainism is also in India would also be a vegetarian.
Ok. Il Jainismo è basato su un libro di testo specifico oppure no? So, Jainism is based on a textbook, like for Christianity, the Bible, or not?
Jainism is not based on a single textbook. Jainism is based on 24 Tirthankars or uh, uh, 24 saints or priests who came in different eras and form and that and their lives put together is what Jainism is. It's
O-
it's not a single text.
ok, e più o meno in che periodo storico è nato il Jainismo? So, when did Jainism, um, w- where did it came from? So, in what period of time, and so on?
Jainism was crystallized around anywhere between 700 BC and 400 BC. Before that, it wasn't called Jainism. It was a much more larger school of thought, but it was crystallized in around 700 to 400 BC.
Ok. E c'è una divinità principale o più divinità oppure no? So, is there a form of divinity, a deity, or not in Jainism?
Uh, we do believe in the divine, uh, but but we don't believe that the divine is a creator.
Mm, ok.
We believe that everything is already into existence and it's a continuous cycle. There is nothing. There's no creator God. There is creation, but there's no creator God.
Ok, interessante. Ehm, cosa succede dopo la morte per il Jainismo? Magari c'è la reincarnazione. So, beyond death. What's beyond death for Jainism?
The ultimate idea is to beat the cycle of birth and death. So you are in this life. As I'm living, what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to do all the good and the right acts, so that I have been born in this world because of my past karmic conditioning, my
Mm.
past acts, and for me to not be born in this world, I need to make sure that I undo all those acts which have been fogging, uh, or it's been fogging my soul. So the idea is to do good acts and to undo these karmic bonds, so the soul will glow and I will not be born again.
Okay.
Jains believe that we are born on a medium of suffering, and the only way to beat this suffering is to not be born again. That's
O-
the samsara.
ok. Quindi è più vicino al buddismo che all'induismo, se non capisco male. So it's a lot more, cioè it's similar to Buddhism rather than Hinduism. Am I right?
Yes, yes. Buddhism is similar to Jainism, or a more refined form of Jainism, and it came after. Uh, Buddha practiced Jain practices before, and then he realized he needed to find a middle path, and then he went on to figure his own path and crystallize it into Buddhism.
Ok, super interessante. Ehm, una cosa che ti volevo chiedere è, data questa visione di superare il ciclo delle rinascite, la vita come un qualcosa da evitare, no? Perché non si deve nascere. Quindi la concezione della vita è come di qualcosa da evitare, cioè qualcosa non dico brutto, però qualcosa di doloroso ed è meglio non vivere. So che è molto semplificare questa cosa, però sì, I see your point in the point of Jainism in not not being born again, okay? So my question is, for Jainism, life is something that only brings suffering, and so
Yes.
something that should not be desired.
So yes. In many ways, actually, all of the religions in India, they start with the basic premise that we are born in this medium of suffering, and our ultimate idea is to gain liberation from this suffering. Okay, and then there are different schools under that, right? So that's what we believe in, that to be born is to suffer.
Okay.
uh, it's very interesting because Nietzsche came and said something similar in Europe. Friedrich Nietzsche,
Mm-hmm.
he came and said, to exist is to suffer, to survive is to find meaning around the suffering.
Mm.
And that's what the Indian schools are doing.
Mm. Ehm, cosa c'è alla fine del ciclo di rinascite, secondo il jainismo? Cioè, cosa succede quando non si nasce più? So, what's there when the cycle is broken? When we are not born again? What's there?
So what happens is, till you're there in the cycle, you're born in different bodily forms or whatever it is, and you're going through different levels of suffering, depending on how much good karma you've done in this life, so that when you're born again, that your soul is far more brighter than the previous birth. And once you beat the cycle, you go above the entire universe and you settle in this place called siddha, which is where you've got where all the other omniscient beings are there, and where you've gained total knowledge, the right behavior and the right discipline, and yeah. So
Ok.
you go above the universe, basically, is what the Jains would say.
Ok, ok, ok. E invece cosa fa tutti i giorni o comunque durante l'anno un jainista? Cioè ci sono delle feste, ci sono delle pratiche precise, un po' mi viene in mente il Ramadan per gli islamici o la Quaresima per i cristiani. So, for a Jainist, are there any rituals or weekdays where there's a festivity, where there's a holiday? Is there something that, like Ramadan for Muslims or
Yeah, yeah,
Quaresima?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we do have, so very interestingly, how Jainism is different from the rest of the religion. So today Jainism is an established religion in the world, in India also. And the how is it different, and what happens? What do Jains do as a ritual or as a celebration? We fast.
Mm,
We do not eat food for an entire day, and we live only off water. We feel that the very act of eating food is a desire on its own, and we need to reduce that intake and that desire. And our festival, which is called Paryushan, uh, that festival is the festival for forgiveness, where we fast that day, and at the end of the day, we call up all our near and dear ones and our friends, and we tell them, we are sorry if we have hurt you in any way, mentally, verbally, in any way in the last year. If we have hurt you consciously or subconsciously, please forgive us. Yeah, that's the festival uh, for Jains.
ok. Ehm, Immagino che lì in India sia molto diffuso il jainismo, no? Immagino, ho visto. Ehm, Quello che mi chiedo è com'è percepito all'interno di una comunità, non lì, intendo lo Stato, fortemente induista e fortemente nazionalista il jainismo. So, what I want to ask you is, how is it viewed, Jainism? How is it viewed in such a Hinduist and nationalist state as India is today?
How is it viewed?
Mm,
It is viewed very it is viewed in a very respectful way,
mm,
because many of the ideas which the Hindus and the other religions follow have all been adopted from Jainism.
mm,
For example, the idea of vegetarianism, or to get focus to actually say that even plants have life and we need to respect that. That idea was introduced by Jains thousands of years ago. They got focus on plants in philosophy. So that is what was adopted by the Hindus. That is what was adopted by the Buddhists. The entire theory of karma, the entire theory of reincarnation. These are all Jain ideas which were readapted. So it is looked at in a very respectful way. Jains hold a lot of powerful positions today in India. So because they're world leaders in many industries. Uh, so in the present government does not have too much of an option. They can't ignore us. Even if they start hating us, they can't ignore us.
ok, perfetto. Se vuoi aggiungere qualcosa, se no ci salutiamo. If you want to add something, then we can greet ourselves and bye bye. If you want.
Right. I would like to talk about. I would like to talk about in today's times. I think the
Yeah.
Jain motto is such a beautiful motto,
Mhm.
and it's for each one of us. And every single time, I keep. I got interested in Jainism because of its motto, and the motto is in Hi- in Hindi or in Sanskrit. It goes as Parasparo Pagraho Jivanam, which means that all life is bound by mutual support and interdependence. I love that they have made it a motto for you to realize that you are bound by mutual support and interdependence. It's not a choice. Yeah, and I love that. I wanted to share that.
Ok, thank you Rajiv. Grazie Rajiv, è
Thank you.
stata un'intervista super interessante. It was a great interview.
Thank you.
Con voi ragazzi invece ci vediamo alla prossima intervista e alla prossima puntata. Mi raccomando, iscrivetevi e commentate qua sotto. E niente, ci vediamo alla prossima. Thanks Rajiv, bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.